this is the worst thing I've ever done in my life.
I'm not the one who decided to go out there.
This is not what I wanted. No, I'm not a killer. I'm just having a hard time. Sorry I made you say goodbye. I don't wanna wait for a place there's no cause. I would run away. Just I don't wanna wait for a place that's safe. I wanna go
It is the June long weekend and we've come up to Coffs Harbour for a weekend of full driving and camping. Not sure whether we're going to stay 1 or 2 nights yet, we'll see how we go. We got myself and Kai in the Nissan Navara, and then we got Mitch behind us in his Toyota Hilux. Starting off Saturday afternoon with a drive up Morbid Trail, head up towards the top of Mount CORAMBA. Quite a popular four-wheel drive track in the area. Mount CORAMBA area in general is quite popular. You got sort of four main ways up Mount CORAMBA. You got Commando Trail, Morbid Trail, Rocky Trail and Army Trail. We've done Morbid before. We did it in my old car and it was wet and it took us about 7 hours to get up it, winching in the wet, and didn't have lockers or anything like that. Now it's still a little bit damp out here today, but it is definitely not as wet, and this car is fairly more capable than the old one. Both utes are 33s with a rear locker, so very similar setups. We're hoping that today won't take as long as what it did that other time, but it's still quite a good drive up here. Definitely a little bit of a challenge. And then once we get to the top, we're talking about maybe coming down Rocky Trail. We've never done it before, so we're not too sure what to expect on it. It's only a short track, this one, probably a couple of Ks, 2-3 Ks or something, just straight up the power lines and fire line of Mount CORAMBA. In the wet, you're better off not coming out here because it's all that red clay and it's just absolutely insane in the wet. We experienced that last time. It hadn't rained for a couple of days, but it just stayed damp out here from the previous rain. It was just insane. Got our first, well, we've already had a couple of hill climbs, but probably the first more serious one you got to commit to, those early couple of hour tracks around them. This is a very shaly, rocky, reasonably steep hill climb. Most of this track's red clay, as I said, but then you just got this one place where it's nothing but rocks. I'm going to take this right hand line and just try and hold a consistent throttle so as to minimize wheel spin on these rocks, but it's still going to be a fair bit of it. Just got the first gear, good old first gear, low range, and the rear locker in. As you continue making your way up Morbid Trail, the challenges get harder and harder as you go. has. Maybe I have to get up on that left-hand bank to get out of that hole, because I can't go far enough right to get out of it. Shows what a big difference getting out and actually surveying the ground and picking your obstacle can make. I was just like going straight in those holes, and the car was just going vertical in the air, as I was able to get out and work out how to straddle around them. Starting to get so much fun, these ruts, just like trying to navigate, and you lifting wheels. It's awesome fun. It's definitely locker sort of country. Without them, you just, it's going to be definitely a struggle. You still probably manage, but yeah, lots of fun out here. Morbid is just challenge after challenge after challenge. Once you get bottom bit sort of a little bit of space between them, then the top bit, drive 50 meters, next gnarly bit, drive 50 meters, next gnarly bit. Even though Coffs hadn't seen rain for over a week, some of these places just seem to stay wet most of the time, meaning it's still quite slippery out there on the tracks and can be hard to pick the line you want and stay on it. You're often slipping and sliding all over the place. A couple of goes at this section, but sometimes just requires that little bit of extra momentum in second gear low range. That was a fair hill climb in the end.
It didn't look very good.
I still felt like okay, but I was like, oh, don't want to get too much worse. It gets, once you get up top of Morbid, it just gets more and more interesting, and still quite a little bit wet and slippery up here. You just need a bit more momentum over that bit. You just need probably a bit more momentum like what I did, because you're just stuck in the ruts. Mitch did that a fair bit easier than me in the end. I was the test dummy and picked all the bad lines. You get an awesome view from up here back out over the coast. That's the second last challenging bit. We drive here about 100 metres, then we got a big like rutted out rock step to get up. Probably going to be winching that. We'll see what happens, and then that's the end of the track. Here we go, the last big obstacle on Morbid. This big rutted out, slippery red clay series of 3 rock steps. See what happens. Just four-wheel drive obstacles can be very hard to know whether you're going to be able to drive it or not. Okay, that's not a good start. Jeez, that's sweet.
You could probably get out that with a little bit more speed.
Yeah, I felt the back like start to climb and I just backed off a little bit. Woo! We're up the top, boys. That was, what was that? That was a couple of hours with filming compared to last time's 7-hour mission. There's nothing you can do other than like a bit more momentum. Just go back a bit and come at it at a more consistent speed. Yeah, now come. We're just going to grab the winch out to bring him up this last bit. There's just not, I may have made it a bit more slippery, I don't know, or just slightly different suspension travels than that. I know that Mitch with his Hilux, when he puts the rear locker in, the front traction control stops working, whereas mine keeps working with the rear locker in. That's a bit of a traction difference there. But as I said, there's not much you can do except stick straight to those ruts, and if he starts going harder than what he's going, it's, you know, start risking breaking front steering arms and CVs. So just grab the winch gear out. We winched Mitch up that last section without any dramas and then headed up the top of Mount CORAMBA to take in the awesome view all around.
Blocks of metal, no one really sees my face, but this is not what I wanted. A killer, I'm just having a hard time. Sorry I made you say goodbye. I don't wanna wait for a place there's no one calls.
Such an awesome view from up the top of Mount CORAMBA there. Once you come off Morbid Trail, you just duck up the main fire trail up to Mount CORAMBA. It's only a few hundred metres up, and then you get this awesome view out over the coastline and beaches and back to the mountains. A little bit of a chill there, and now we're going to try Rocky Trail, which we've never done before. We're going to go down it, and hopefully we can manage to get down it. You always hear mixed stories. Some people have said it's pretty full on, and others have said, oh, you'll be fine.
Wait, how actually are we going to get up there?
We're not going up. We're going down. No,
Well, I mean,
going up. Rocky Trail started off quite easy, and then things heat up real quick. Now I'm so sweaty. We just had to run down nearly the whole track because we passed some guys coming up who tried to come down, turn around. They said, don't even think about it. It's a nightmare. We've had to walk down, and we think yeah, and we think we can do it. Maybe this bit here, because I've got a big drop here in front of me. Coming up this track would be one hell of a mission. But we think we can negotiate these rock steps coming down. Is it exciting?
Now what?
Are we alright or screwed? Or? Well, straight for this one in front of me. I was going to hit the bull bar. It's going real slow. Yep. Now it starts swinging this way. That was worse than I expected.
Oh, better than I expected.
Yeah, I think that's the worst of it, because that's, yeah, well, you can, there's another bit there, it wasn't as bad, then there's another bad bit that you go around it. So I just guide you down the same line.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Keep coming that. Keep coming. Yeah, hold that lock. Go back that way a tiny bit, yeah. Now that way a bit. Stop. Go back that way a little bit, yeah. A little bit that way, yeah. Yeah, just hold that. Yeah, just so slowly. Start to go a bit left that way. A little bit more. Yeah. A bit more. Come down. Yeah. Yeah, you're good. We're just going to grab a bit of firewood on the way to camp now, because where we're going to camp down on a creek bed, and I've tried to get wood there before and it's not very good. So get on the side of the mountain. There's a couple of dead logs on the side of the road, but Luke from Drifter kindly lent me his electric chainsaw, a steel one, because I was talking about this with him the other day, electric versus petrol chainsaws, and I've never used an electric chainsaw, so I was keen to try it out and see what the difference is really. Obviously this is battery powered compared to your petrol one, which is run on petrol, but they've got these cool bags. They make chainsaw bags for the electric ones, because a lot of people seem to be changing over to the electric chainsaws now. But I want to give this a test out. You got your battery here, all comes in your different cases. You got your charger. Because I got the inverter, I can charge it when I'm away, but he said a battery will last a few days, sort of a weekend away anyway. Obviously they're going to be a lot less noisy, and you're not dealing with petrol. You know what I just realized? I don't even know how to start it. I'm sure we can work it out. That's easy. That was actually surprising how well that cut. That cut really well, and like, you don't have to start it up and get it going. You just turn it on as you want to use it. Way less noise, and you're not dealing with petrol. Yeah, I have to use it a bit more, but definitely impressed me initially for an electric chainsaw. You just need your bar oil, so you got to obviously keep the bar oil up, and then just keep your batteries charged. After collecting some firewood, we continued making our way down Rocky Trail, try and get out of there before it got dark and get ourselves to camp. It's not hard to see where the track gets its name from, because there's a bloody lot of rocks on the way down. Going
down this track wasn't too bad. With some careful negotiating, we were able to do it relatively drama-free. But going up would be a very different story in our vehicles. I'd say we would be up for a fair bit of winching and a very difficult time.
Yeah, just hold that, go slow. Go hold that, yeah.
It was just about dark by the time we got out of there. A couple more challenges though, and we're on our way to camp.
Just hold that and go slow.
This is not what I wanted. Now I'll never be a killer. Please don't give me a hard time. I don't wanna wait for a place there's no cross. I will drive away. You just have to say the witness. I don't wanna wait.
It's like Jenga. Is that the game?
Yeah, Jenga.
I didn't do much filming last night when we got to camp because we didn't get here till after dark. Being winter, it gets dark so early. It's dark about 5:30 when we're coming down off that rocky trail. Then it's about a half-hour drive through to camp. Got here about 6:30 and just lit the fire and settled in for the night. Beautiful camp spot here out the back of Coffs. This is my favourite local secret spot that I always come to, so I won't give away where it is. Even though it's the June long weekend, there's just no one out here. You can still, as long as you stay away from those main campgrounds, you can still get these awesome bush places all to yourself. And when I say secret spot, it doesn't mean like, I always say secret spots and then I get about 40 messages on Instagram asking where the secret spot is. Like, it's not going to be real secret if I tell everyone. The water in these creeks here is just so clear. You've never seen anything like it. It's just absolutely beautiful place. And it's sunny, nice day today. It's about 8:39 now. We're going to start packing up camp soon and then we're going to head towards Jeep Track. Try and take on Jeep Track today and see how we go with that. Could be an interesting one. I think the lyrebird's going to come for a swim. He's going to go. Oh, jump. Too nervous, I don't know what to say.
Oh my god!
Alright, you ready? Stop being silly, mate. I can't go now because you're laughing.
Started it.
Start again. Restart.
No.
Stop it and start a new one. Is it still going?
Yes.
I made a... Yeah, okay. I'm not doing anything, you're laughing.
Go.
I made a post on my Instagram the other day about electric versus...
earlier. No, I wasn't. I was like,
Alright, go.